Up, everybody? This is just going to be a really brief announcement. I actually recorded this after the lecture notes video today because after it, I realized, man, I was kind of wandering and going off on tangents. And I know a lot of people have brought that up to me that, Taluki, I'm one of those guys that can just go off on tangents and go in a lot of different directions. So I apologize for that. If that frustrates you, I'm not doing it to frustrate you. It's just kind of how my brain functions. Another thing that I think I've mentioned this and most of you are aware of it, but just in case not, I do want you to know this is a new class, and please understand, please have a little bit of sympathy for me because I'm kind of winging it. I'm making this class up as I go. It was a brand new class. The first time humanities had ever been on the Michigan Center High School schedule was last year. And actually last year, it was a co-taught class. It was myself and Miss Van Riper were the two that were teaching it and co-instructing it. And it was like 50-50 worth of instruction. Then COVID hit and the whole world changed. And they had to make some adjustments with staffing. And in order to keep this class, it had to just be one of us doing it. And she had to pick up an English class. So now I'm doing it solo. Know, too, that because the way the world's changed, my main job is teaching U.S. history. I have 4 sections of that, and that is a prime core class. Now, last year, when we were in normal times, I could coast through U.S. history. I've been doing that for so long. I had all my material ready to go. I could do that in my sleep. Maybe that's not the best way of saying it, but I feel like I had that down pat really good. Now, because everything's going virtual and remote, I feel like I'm almost like a first-year teacher again for everything because I'm re-recording all these lectures and getting materials, converting it to online format. So I'm very overwhelmed with trying to make my U.S. history, my main core required class, as good as it can be for the 120 kids that are in that. Now, this is an elective, so I wish I had been doing this for a few more years and had more material banked up and was ready to go, but I don't. And I also didn't want to just totally scratch this class. Like I've said before, the last thing I want to do is add stress to your plate. I don't want this to be a miserable experience for you. I don't want to give you a bunch of busy work or anything like that. My goal for this elective class, I don't want my stress level to go up too high, and I certainly don't want to push stress off onto you guys. So I promise I'll keep the work level pretty low and manageable. And my ultimate goal is to try to have interesting assignments that engage you and get you to think. All right, that's what I'm trying to do with it. Now, please also, the reason I'm giving this announcement, I'm winging it as I go. I'm coming up with topics, and I'm really only planned a day or two out. I'm trying to get that space unit around for the next week. Just beware that there's going to be some things that I probably do well and I hit a home run and you're like, man, that one was interesting. He did get me to think a little bit on that one. And that one really resonated with me. There's going to be other things that are going to fall flat. Please know I appreciate feedback. If it's positive, it doesn't have to be positive, I guess, but if it's constructive criticism. So as we're going through this class, know that it is my first year. Most of the material from semester 1 was I kind of retooled stuff that Miss Van Riper and I had worked on together. This semester is going to be 100% all Taluki. So you're getting to see the inner workings of my brain. And a lot of these lessons are just things that interest me and that I think about that are going on in society or with people. So anyway, I really appreciate constructive criticism. If you wanted to, always, my last journal of the quarter is going to be asking for feedback from you. So I don't know what number it'll be. Maybe it'll be number 10, maybe it'll be 12, maybe it'll be 9. I'm not sure how many journals we'll get through. But if you wanted to, as we're going through and doing lessons, you could go to the bottom of your journal's Google Doc and start just every time I do a lesson or we do a journal, maybe make a note of a good lesson that we did in the past week or one that you didn't like or some aspect of class. Or the other thing that I seriously would welcome as I'm going through and doing these different little mini lessons or these units that we're going to hit in class, you can all shoot me an email anytime and you can pick apart any of the lessons I did or tell me it was really confusing or really lame or really boring. I'd appreciate it if you don't just say, you suck, Taluki. Man, you're terrible. That doesn't give me a lot to go on. But if you can actually talk about things I did in class and things that worked well or didn't work well, I really do appreciate that and know that, hey, I'm trying the best I can. I want to keep your stress level low. I want to keep it interesting and have you do some thinking. And it is a work in progress. I'm sure this class is going to look way different 2, 3, 4 years from now after I've kind of gotten it down pat. But you guys, in a lot of ways, are my guinea pig group, because this is the first time that I'm just like, I'm going off on my own, and this is my own take of this new elective that I was able to create. So I appreciate your understanding. I appreciate your patience. If I'm going on tangents too much, or ever stressing you out or anything, man, let me know. And I'm going to do my best to make this an interesting, engaging, and enjoyable class for you. All right. Thanks, guys.